Well, after stalling India-Pakistan Foreign Secretary level talks for more than 3 months, India and Pakistan diplomats finally picked up the threads today with a bilateral meeting along the sidelines of the Heart of Asia conference. Pakistan Foreign Secretary Aizaz Ahmad Chaudhary met his counterpart S Jaishankar after talks between the two foreign secretaries were on freeze for months, especially after the Pathankot terror attack. But no sooner did the meeting begin that Islamabad was once again back to raising the Kashmir bogey. All outstanding issues, including that of the Kashmir dispute, were discussed. That's according to the Pakistan side. The Pakistan Foreign Secretary even called Kashmir a core issue. Pakistan also continued to plug its own agenda, raising the issue of the capture of RAW officer Kulbhushan Jadav and implying that the RAW is involved in activities in Balochistan and Karachi. Pakistan has even further suggested that RAW is undermining efforts and has expressed concern over the release of the Samjhauta blasts accused. In fact, shortly after the bilateral meeting in the national capital where Pakistan raised its own agenda, India today also met Pakistan's Foreign Secretary Aizaz Chaudhary with 3 pointed questions that went completely unanswered. India today's Maha Siddiqui posed these 3 questions. He was asked about first, the Pathankot probe, second, Masood Azhar, and third, the possibility of the NIA team visiting Pakistan. And all of these questions were met with no response. That's Maha there. Let's just listen in.
Chaudhary, I'm from India today. Sir, what assurance have you given your Indian counterpart on the Pathankot attack, sir? Will there be any action taken on Maulana Masood Azhar, sir? Sir, what about the NIA team? Will it go travel to Pakistan?
India Today, Smita Sharma joins us for more. Smita, the 3 important and pertinent questions there absolutely unanswered. We saw, the Foreign Secretary of Pakistan, Aizaz Ahmad Chaudhary, refusing to even look at Maha while she was asking those questions. Now, tell me, it seems, Smita, that the Pakistan side have already tried to gain advantage, with their counterparts by plugging in their own agenda. Can we expect an official response from the Indian side? How are they viewing these developments?
So what about the NIA team? Will it go travel to Pakistan?
Well, I hope so, Avantika, that we do have a response, and sooner than later. It's already been very delayed as far as the Indian Foreign Ministry is concerned. At 11:20, this meeting started between the two foreign secretaries. At 11:28 is when we got that first statement from the Pakistani Foreign Ministry, where they said that they had raised the Kashmir issue. So 8 minutes into a meeting between the two foreign secretaries, Islamabad started plugging its own agenda, turning it into a perception war. Because even before India could slam Pakistan on the terror front, Pakistan started sending out the message through press that, look, we have cornered India on the issue of terror, we have cornered India on the issue of atrocities and human rights violations in the valley. And so far, the meeting's gotten over. It lasted for an hour and 40 minutes. We are still awaiting a response from the Foreign Ministry. Interestingly, all those pointers that were sent out by the Pakistani side, no mention of Pathankot. Even while there is the issue of Kulbhushan Jadav, Maha Siddiqui tried asking that question to the Pakistani Foreign Secretary, and Aizaz Chaudhary walked away evading that question. He's anyways a man of few words. He doesn't respond to media questions, too often, unlike his political boss, like Sartaj Aziz. But clearly, even as India today pointed out those 3 questions to Aizaz Chaudhary, he chose to look the other way because we haven't even heard on these questions from the Indian side. We are still awaiting a response.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe not to, reporters, Smita, but we need those answers, isn't it? The nation deserves those answers after those horrific attacks at the Pathankot air base. Tell me, do you think that India did not foresee this or anticipate this kind of action from the Pakistan side? Because they have done what they have done before on predictable lines, once again raising, the Kashmir issue and not answering, the fact about what really have they done to act against the perpetrators of the Pathankot terror attack.
Sir, what assurance have you given your Indian counterpart on the Pathankot attack?
You were talking to Ambassador Rajiv Dogra earlier, Avantika, and he pointed out that what is perhaps the Pakistani strategy is that there is predictability, that in some way or the other they will either try undermining the talks or they will try plugging in their own agenda. In the past, I remember we had those India-Pakistan Foreign Secretary talks after the Mumbai attacks, when Nirupama Rao held those talks with Salman Bashir, who was later posted to India as a High Commissioner. And even as the Indian side was actually briefing the press in in Shastri Bhavan, saying that the talks were held in cordial atmosphere. There was a background briefing on where actually Salman Bashir was trashing all the proof given by India, calling it a piece of literature on half his side. So these are predictable lines, and when the Indian diplomats take pride in saying that we do not do policy which is predictable, it leads you to question, whether they have at least a plan B or a plan C when things actually get unpredictable, or, are they just simply shooting in the dark here, or is silence the only policy that New Delhi seems to have at the moment?
Absolutely. In fact, we also have with us Defence and Strategic Analyst Brigadier Amrit Kapoor. So what do you make of all that's happened? We still haven't officially heard from the Indian side, but are you surprised, Pakistan once again raking up the Kashmir issue, saying that all outstanding issues have already been raised? We've still not heard from the, the official version of the Indian side, but were you expecting this of these talks?
You have to first examine one thing, that whenever the talks are held on the sideline of a main event, so at that, on those sidelines, you generally don't have an agenda set for the talks, and this is where it takes who takes the initiative and who sort of scores first. So Pakistan has been known for that. Now within this was firstly nobody in the country knew about this summit which was going on, that there will be talks on the sideline, and they were totally sort of surprised, I would say, that they again raised the bogey of Kashmir issue, and we could not, by the time we projected our points, that is the activity of the Pathankot attack and the NIA visit to Pakistan and the other activities in Pakistan. So they countered us with that, firstly bringing a spy issue which is a bogey, absolutely. That gentleman is a businessman who is carting things from Gwadar port to Iran, and he has just been roped in. So everybody knows that, but they are trying to play. They are trying to counter us before we could take any action.
But why are we not asking the tough questions? We, India in fact has been a victim of terror. We have seen, two very big terror attacks, not only Pathankot, even in Mumbai. The perpetrators are still at large. They're still, in Pakistan, roaming around freely. Why is it that, we are perceived to be on the back foot when, diplomats from Pakistan come in and they, rake up these issues related to Jammu and Kashmir?
We are, in our policy, we are always on the defensive. You would have seen that we have never been proactive in our stance. We have never raised the issue of Pak occupied Kashmir. They are always harping on Kashmir issue. We never raised that. This has started coming in the media 2 years back. Before that, for 66 years, nobody even pointed out that the major portion, one portion is with Pakistan. So unless we should have, right from the beginning, we should have taken a stance that this is not the problem, this is an integral part of India. You are sitting on part of the Kashmir, so you are supposed to return that to us. So we should be talking on that, putting them on the defensive. Every time they put us on defensive, they do some activity whenever there is an event. Before that, Pakistan is known for that. When Vajpayee ji went there was, after that was Kargil, and when this bus went there, at that time there was in Anantnag. So right. These things, they are known to sabotage these things. And firstly, we should be very careful when you have such meetings scheduled at short notice, and we should also have our counter agenda. As a matter of fact, I don't know who took the initiative that during the sideline, whether a meeting, whether India has taken the initiative or the initiative has been taken by Pakistan. They are looking for opportunities to tell the world that we are there for talks. Right. We are there for negotiations. It is India which is not. India is involved in Balochistan. India is involved. They are trying to put together. We have not been able to sell it. Where here we in our own country we are unable to control the terrorists here, and we keep telling them.
Right. Right, sir. Just stay with me. We also have Kasper Klasra joining us from Islamabad. Kasper, terror was supposed to be high on the agenda of these talks. Instead, we have seen what Pakistan has done in the past, once again raking up sensitive issues to India. All that India wanted to do was to seek information, regarding the action that has been taken with regard to the Pathankot terror attack. We even hosted the joint investigation team right here in India. They even went to the airbase to conduct their own investigations, only to go back and blame us for, staging that attack. What are you hearing in the Pakistan media about the foreign secretary level talks between the two nations?
Well, definitely interesting question. What I can tell you from here in Islamabad is that Pakistani team has scored a brawny team in India. So definitely Pakistani side was fully prepared, and there has been a briefing here in Pakistan before they have flown to India that definitely these are the points. Kashmir issue is included. You have to raise the arrest of alleged Indian spy Kulbhushan Jadav, and they were talked to. And let me tell you that the Pakistani team, what I am hearing from the sources and Pakistani media, there has been applaud and appreciation from Pakistani side that Pakistani delegation had did wonderful job. They have done the talks, very well deserved talks, and they were talked to raise the point relating to Raw's involvement in Pakistan and definitely the Kashmir issues. What we have been seeing, if you remember, since earlier this morning, we have been telling our viewers that the Pakistani side will be raising these two issues, and they have done there in the meeting as well. So Pakistan. In Pakistan, the mood is the team has been appreciated from the Pakistani officials, and also the Pakistani media is applauding the Pakistani delegation that is being headed by the Foreign Secretary Aizaz Chaudhary.
Absolutely. And Smitha, the talks between both the countries have been rather erratic. We've seen the various denials. We've seen the various U-turn. Are you actually expecting something something concrete or substantial to come out from talks like these, or in the future, considering that, the Pakistan army in general is absolutely not on the same page as they are with their own government? What can we expect then?
Look, personally, if you were to ask me, I am one of those who actually advocate dialogue, because I definitely think that Jojo is better than war. But having said that, the way things are between India and Pakistan, they need to achieve a base minimum level of stability. We either see these extreme highs in relationship where there's a lot of pappi-tappi and, biryani serving that happens, or there are those extreme lows where it goes to the level of katti-batti. So they need to evolve a way out through this. You need to sit like matured neighbors. These are two nuclear armed neighbors. We are not talking about just any two countries that are geographically located just kilometers away from each other, or absolutely opposite ends of as far as the globe is concerned. So, but clearly for Pakistan, which has been dealing with its own inner political turmoil, its inner failures, we saw the moment that Lahore blast happened, how Nawaz Sharif's personal space got weakened. Adding fuel to the fire was the Panama Papers. The moment Nawaz Sharif left for London, supposedly for a medical checkup, there were rumors that there was a coup that was taking place and the army was driving it from behind the scenes. So that is the kind of situation, and what better way for them to sort of drive home the public perception from these problems than by externalizing the problem and making India the villain again on all fronts, which they seem to be doing in this game of one-upmanship.
Absolutely. Smitha, Kasper and Brigadier Kapoor, thank you all for joining us.
5 Indian police personnel, including a police inspector, have been arrested from Nepal on Sunday. The police arrested them near Sanagon. The Indian police personnel claimed that they have